only thing standing in the way between the financial life that you have now and the one that you want is you. Habits are extremely powerful and can give you the life that you want, but on the opposite end of the spectrum, bad habits can lead you into really poor situations and keep you poor financially. I'm gonna get right into 8 money habits that are keeping you poor, with that first one being, because I'm a YouTuber, telling you to scroll down and make that thumbs up button blue, because it's gonna help me beat that YouTube algorithm and help you get more money in your life. That first money habit that is keeping you poor would be spending all of your money. Spending all of your money is obviously gonna keep you poor, because if you don't have any money, you are just going to be considered poor, because being poor means you don't have money. Often people get set into this trap because they have money, they feel they need to spend it. So if you can change that habit and start, instead of spending a lot of that money, being a bit more diligent with saving and investing, then you can start making more money and getting out of this bad habit of just because you have that money doesn't mean you need to spend it. Often you might get your paycheck and start spending all of that money the second that you get it, and then come time closer to when you're getting your paycheck again, you see your bank account has virtually been drained or almost completely drained, and then you're relying on credit cards. So when you get that money, instead of just spending it and then maybe hopefully saving some come the end, make sure you put it towards savings and investments first, and then have that budget set up so that you're spending money only on the things that you need to spend on and not just spending it because you feel like you want to. The second habit that would be keeping you poor would be lifestyle inflation. A really simple example for many people would be if they get out of college and start getting that first job, they might move into a luxury apartment, buy a brand new nice car, or essentially just spend every penny that they have. And then you might continue to get promotions throughout your entire life, so you start moving into a nicer apartment, buy a bigger, better house, buy a better car, or just as you're making more money, you feel like you need to spend more and increase that lifestyle. This will definitely keep you poor regardless of the amount of money that you're making. If you're spending $30,000 when you make $30,000 a year, or if you're spending $200,000 when you make $200,000 a year, it won't matter. You need to not inflate your lifestyle just because you're earning more and more. Obviously, you can reward yourself a little bit and start doing the things that maybe you want or the things that you enjoy, but again, just because you have that money doesn't mean you need to spend it. And as you start earning more and more money, it's going to be easier to get out of this habit and actually start diligently saving and investing. The third habit keeping you poor would be not tracking any of your spending. If you aren't tracking any of your spending and don't really have a good sense of how much of your money you're actually spending, then how can you fix it whatsoever? There are a lot of really great apps out there that allow you to figure out how much money you're spending on a monthly basis. You could actually just go ahead and use Google Sheets yourself, write everything down, or you could make it a little bit more automated with a service like Mint or Personal Capital. And I'm not sponsored by any of these, but some good options for you to use. And you can just link your checking account as well as some of your credit cards, and then it will just automatically show how much money you're spending every single month and in various categories. It's really important to get an overall understanding of how much money you spend every single month to see maybe I'm wasting a lot of money here, or maybe I'm not spending on the things that I care about. So if you're wasting a lot of money eating out and you don't care about eating out, and instead of spending more money on groceries to make nice dinners for yourself, then you could flip-flop that and spend a little bit more on those groceries and save a lot of money on eating out a bunch. The fourth money habit keeping you poor would be thinking that you deserve it all. Now, I'm all for everyone manifesting and getting what they believe that they deserve, but if you're in a situation where you feel like you deserve everything but you're not financially there yet, then you probably don't deserve everything that you want. Obviously, take care of your needs, but if you just have a bunch of wants, you probably aren't going to be able to afford them all. For example, if you want to travel all the time and you're spending a bunch of money on Airbnbs, airfare, and eating out while you're traveling, but you also want to buy a house at the same time, it's probably not going to work very well because you're spending so much money over here when what you truly want is over here. So take a look at the things that you're spending on and note that I don't deserve to be able to travel and go to an Airbnb every single weekend if I also want to buy a house. Now, obviously, if you happen on millions of dollars because you're a fantastic YouTuber and everyone likes and subscribes to your video, or if you see Mr. Beast in the street and he throws you a house, then maybe you're going to be able to do both. But in reality, most people don't deserve it all. The fifth habit keeping you poor would be bad debt. I like to emphasize the word bad here before debt because there are bad and good types of debt. For example, if you go out and get a loan for a rental property and then people are paying that debt down for you, that would be good debt. But if you're getting personal loans like credit cards to buy stuff that you don't need, like Airbnb vacations, or going to buy a bunch of designer clothes that you don't really need or won't actually wear, that would be bad debt. Bad debt can also be really hard to get out of because credit cards, for example, come with a really high interest rate. If you're starting to not save your money and you're continuing to use credit cards to pay for stuff that you can't afford and don't need, then you're going to start racking up more and more debt, and it's going to be really difficult to pay all of that off. The thing that you need to make sure that you do here is, if you have a credit card, only use it wisely, pay it off on time and in full, and don't utilize it to buy stuff that you don't need with money you don't have. The sixth money habit keeping you poor would be buying things that you don't care about. Oftentimes we might just be out or bored or sad or some other type of emotion, and we just end up buying things that we don't really care about. Maybe you buy something so that you can look cool to someone else, or so you can keep up with your neighbor. These are purchases that are going to continue to keep you poor because, one, you don't really care about them. You need to be a bit more intentional with how you're spending your money and only spend it on things that give you joy or things that you really want to do. The seventh habit that is similar to the sixth is buying things that you inevitably don't use. An example of this could be if you really want to put a pool in your backyard. It can cost a ton of money to put a pool there. Let's say you use it 2 times a year. That is not going to be worth the amount of money that it costs to put in that pool, which could be tens of thousands of dollars. So your cost per jumping in that pool is going to be really expensive. If you want to go for a dip every once in a while, maybe go to the local lake or the local pool, and it will save you a lot of money. Really here, just make sure that when you're buying something that you're actually going to utilize it, or think about how often you're going to use it. If there's those things that are just one-time purchases that are really expensive that you feel like you're not going to use often, then you can stay away from those things. But definitely invest in things that you're going to utilize often. A good pair of shoes, a nice mattress, nice clothes that you enjoy to wear. Those are things that it's okay to spend a good amount more money on because they're going to last a lot longer and you know you're going to use them often. But pools and other stupid crap that you're not going to use very often, don't spend on that. The eighth and final habit that is keeping you poor would be not investing. Not investing can look like a number of different things. Not investing in your skills in order to increase your income, or it could look like not investing in real estate or stocks to actually create more money with the money that you already have. A similar theme that has happened throughout all of these tips is that often people will make more money and then assume that later on they can invest because they have more money, feel like they can spend more of it, and think that they're not going to get old anytime soon. But with investing, the best thing that you can do is do it early as possible because of compound interest. It will allow you to make more and more money over time. Time is going to be your best friend when it comes to investing, so the earlier you can do it, the more you will make and not have to make as many contributions. So if you're someone who's thinking about waiting until you make more and more money, you're just gonna have to invest more and more money if you wait longer and longer. There you have it. Those are all 8 money tips that are keeping you poor, and you can change a lot of those if you just think a little bit differently. And if you guys like that video and want to learn more about personal finance, investing in real estate, and how you can achieve financial freedom, definitely hit that subscribe button and the notification bell if you want to get notified when I make more videos like this. And if you guys like me here, don't forget to check me out on TikTok as well as Instagram, where I make content in short form. So thanks again for watching, and more wealth is coming your way.